Hi, I'm Russell Rivera, founder and president of Voice Wealth Management, and welcome back to our Instablog series. Recently, I wrote a blog called The Fear is the Worst of It, and as a follow-up, I wanted to add this video Instablog. As the main part of the COVID crisis wanes and we head into summer, it's time to stop playing defense and start playing offense. So what do I mean? For many of us, the crisis has been a reason to play defense. From an individual perspective, it's meant that we've stayed home, not traveled, didn't see family and friends, all in pursuit of protecting our own health and safety. Perfectly understandable and reasonable. And some people have even tried to avoid advancing their careers due to the unemployment market that's existed over the last year. However, from a business perspective, many small businesses have had to play defense as well. Many of them needed government loans just to try to stay alive and have been trying to deal with how to keep going in an environment where their customers weren't coming in. And obviously, while we can talk about in-person businesses like retail and restaurants, there are other businesses that are kind of white collar that require in-person meetings that have had done well to maintain their relationships in their business, but haven't been able to build new ones because it's just difficult in this environment. As we turn around, as we think about coming out, some writers have hypothesized that we're in for a new roaring 20s, as many will celebrate the end of the pandemic by traveling, socializing, shopping, and other bacchanalia and hedonistic pursuits. On first glance, this makes sense. It's like a rubber band snapping back. We've been held back for so long. What happens when you let it go? And for a little while, we might all go just a little bit nuts. Even I feel the urge to say, screw it, and go crazy, doing all the things that I haven't been able to do over the last year plus, if only I had the time. And I'm sure others who have felt repressed over the last year by the constriction of the pandemic feel the same. But playing offense can't mean throwing all caution to the wind. And this has nothing to do with masks or distancing. It has everything to do with money and planning. Over the last year, many people who were fortunate enough to maintain most or all of their incomes through the pandemic have done quite well. Because they literally hadn't been able to spend money in the way they used to, savings levels have increased across the board. Some took care of long-term projects that they think they hadn't had time or money to do before, such as home improvement projects, or maybe even finally getting around to getting that will or estate plan done. Those who did this were managing to play offense during the worst of the pandemic, and their moves have paid off. Great for them. At the same time, equity investors have been quite fortunate over the last year and a half as well. Those who didn't retreat and stayed on the long-term plan instead of selling last February and March have obviously done quite well. In some ways, they won by playing defense. Maintaining that discipline will be important to continued financial success, no matter where you are on your financial journey, starting out or seeing the goals and finish line coming right at you. Now it's your turn. It's time to play offense with your future. Whether it's starting a business, buying a home, or just planning your post-pandemic financial life, if you haven't done it before, now is the time. Because if you get sucked into the roaring 20s and put yourself in a bad way, it will be harder to recover. For me personally, the last several months since Thanksgiving have been a very tough time mentally. I felt closed in, and construction projects going on in my apartment building have only made the atmosphere more difficult to deal with. My COVID quarantine, which I discussed in my written piece, did not help matters, specifically at a time when the weather should have allowed me to begin escaping the doldrums. But now that it's over, I want to go on the offensive, and I need your help. If you know someone who is scared about the financial road ahead, send them my way. I'll have a conversation with them and help them deal with their anxieties. If you know people who are thinking, screw it, and are getting ready to go nuts as soon as they're able, and then it might hurt their long-term financial future, have them call me, and I'll help them set a healthier course. If you view what we're about to embark on as an opportunity, reach out. I'd love to hear more about your story and support you on your way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.